Yes, Nidhi.
Okay, I'll start then. Good evening, everyone. I'm Nidhi Katti. So today we have two lectures on our history enthusiast page. Our second resource person for today is Professor Sri R Ramanidharan, former professor, Department of Visual Communication, SSS Jain College, and he's also a freelance photographer from Chennai. I warmly welcome you, sir, to our page to give this lecture. Thank you for accepting our invitation to give this lecture, sir. With due respect and with warmly, I welcome you, sir. Thank you so much. Secondly, I welcome all the audience who are attending this live lecture series. Thank you so much for attending it. I warmly welcome you all. And lastly, I welcome co-founder of the History Enthusiast page, Ms. Manali Momaya. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to do the welcome speech. Now I request Ms. Manali
Thank
Momaya
you, dear.
to, thank you, to introduce today's second resource person, Sri R Ramanidharan sir.
Thank you, Nidhi. I also welcome Dr. Rajashri Vasudevan. She is a colleague of Sir from SSS Jain College, Chennai. And I
Yes,
also welcome my friend and co-host, Ms. Nidhi Katti, to the lecture.
thank you. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you for giving me this opportunity to introduce Sri Ramanidharan, sir. Sir is a multi-talented person in the real sense of the term. Uh, he is trained by late Mr. Harry Miller on photography and photojournalism. But in fact, he qualified in Masters of Commerce and MFM and CAIIB. He also did his PG diploma in photography and diploma in practical photography and videography from Tamil Nadu Advanced Technical Training Institute. He has worked at Indian Bank between 1977 and 2000, and later at SSS Jain College for Women from 2006 to 2014 as assistant professor in the Department of Visual Communication. He also worked as part-time faculty at Anna University, Chennai, in the Department of Printing Technology from 2008. Sir is an expert and specialist in wedding, portfolio, wildlife, and monuments photography, and he has an experience of 43 years, a practical experience in various genres of photography, including events, fashion, products, advertising, wildlife, and architecture. He has worked with several advertising agencies during 1990s, such as Krishna Swami Associates, Mudra, Sound and Sight, Adwave, RK Swami, and so on. He has owned a black and white dark room for over a decade and is an active life member of the Photographic Society of Madras, which is the oldest group of photographers in India, existing since 1857. He received the Meritorious Service Award for the outstanding performance and achievements in monuments and sculpture photography presented by the International Camera Fair in September 2014. Sir also received Masters of Photography Award from Best Photography, a photography magazine in August 2016. His photo story series on Hampi featured in the Tamil monthly e-magazine Obscura during the months of April and May 2017. His pictures on South Indian temples exhibited, and a special mention was made about them in the Indian Express on 20th uh, uh, July 2011. He presented a paper titled Photography Knowledge Management in a national seminar held during 2009, and also presented a research project on basics of photography at SSS Jain College for Women during December 2008. He also guided students on photographing the architectural marvels of Cholas, Hoysalas, and Vijayanagara Empire. He regularly conducts workshops and architecture photography at Hampi, Kanchipuram, Beluru, Halebeedu, and Tanjavur, and on wildlife and bird photography at Bandipur, Nagarhole, Kabini, Ranganatittu, Tadoba, Kanha, Bandhavgarh, and Jim Corbett for the members of Photographic Society of Madras and students of visual communication. He also conducts workshops on portrait lighting, and he has a very vast experience in the field of photography. Uh, we have invited Sir today here uh, mainly because our page is titled as History Enthusiasts. And if Sir is not a history enthusiast, I don't know who else is. Uh, I met Sir 4 years ago at Hampi. Uh, he told me the story of his life, that how he quit his banking job for his passion for photography and especially for monument photography. And I have seen photographs that Sir has taken. He was kind enough to share them with me, and he also shared his photographs in our first lecture by Professor KLN Murthy, which was on Badami Chalukyas. Sir had shared his photographs of Badami, and they are marvelous, colorful, and vibrant. So today we have invited Sir to our page to talk on the Chola Temples. Uh, from a photographer's perspective, it will be a unique approach to history, and I am sure that we all will enjoy it. Once again, I welcome you on behalf of all of us, Sir, and I request you to start the talk. I request Nidhi to put on the PPT so that we can
Yes.
all see and uh, we can learn from Sir's photographs.
Yeah, I
Thank
have started the
you.
sharing.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Manali and Nidhi Katti for the opportunity given to me. I think I will do justice because as a photographer, I am totally different from the panel of resource persons. I'm totally a different one with no background in history. Only thing I am appearing here is my interest towards photographing the historic marvels of the country, his heritage value like that. Okay. Thank you for the opportunity given.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome, sir.
Manali, I have started the sharing. Just check it. I have started the sharing. It's showing that screen is
Yes.
sharing. People, yeah,
Okay. Okay. I'll check.
yeah.
So in the meantime, I will give a brief introduction about my presentation. That is, I've taken the Great Living Chola Temples. As per the UNESCO, they have mentioned only three temples. One is the big temple, the Brahadishwara temple at Tanjavur, the Brahadishwara temple at Gadekonda Sorapuram, and the Airavadeshwara temple at Dharasaram. And each temple is unique in its own way. The first one was built by the great Rajaraja, also called as Arul Mori Varman. And the second, Gangekonda Sorapuram, was built by his son. And the third one by the grandson of Rajaraja. His name is Rajaraja Soram II. Okay. So everything is going to be different. See, the big temple in Tanjavur, it is so huge. The Gopuram is so huge, or we call it as Vimana, which is around 216 feet high. 216 feet high, but the foundation is only for around 6 feet. Just imagine a structure as tall as 216 feet, supported by a foundation of only 6 feet. So there lies the engineering and architectural brain behind the whole construction. This is so huge, built totally by granites, and nowhere near Tanjavur you will see a hill. So they brought the granites from a place called as Northamalai, which is around 50 kilometers away from Tanjavur. Just imagine during the year 1000 AD, moving the heavy stones at a distance of 50 kilometers, how difficult it would have been. Just imagine. Okay. Now we'll go to the entrance. The first slide. Yes. The first slide is that of a Dwarapalaga at the entrance of Rajaraja. Just a minute. Rajarajan Tiruvasal. There are two entrances to the great temple. Actually, it is three. The first one, which we see, as soon as we enter the temple, built by Maratha kingdom, it's just a flat one. The second one, Keralantagan Gopuram. The third one, which is nearer to the temple, is the Rajarajan Talevasal or Tiruvasal. See, this is one of the Dwarapalagas. You can see at the foot of the Dwarapalaga, go back to the first slide. You can see at the foot of the Dwarapalaga, there is a crocodile swallowing an elephant. Can you see that? The crocodile swallowing an elephant. Then imagine the size
Yes,
of the crocodile. Am I audible? Am I
yes,
audible?
sir.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay, fine. Thank you. So, a crocodile swallowing an elephant, then imagine the size of the crocodile, and that looks so tiny at the feet of the Dwarapalaga. And the left hand shows just like this. Go inside, like that. And the right side, there is a mudra, which shows that I am a servant of the God who is inside. So Dwarapalaga is so huge, literally it is so huge, but he humbly says that I am a servant for the God who is staying inside. Okay. For the next slide, see, in Chola Empire, they gave importance to the Buddha. This is at the entrance of the Gopuram. You can see Buddha doing the penance under the Bodhi tree, and then you can see some important Saivites. We call them as a Nayanmar in Tamil, like Kannappa Nayanmar or somebody else. You can see the pictures, but I have not uploaded the pictures here. Okay, next slide. Next one. So this is that entrance, Rajarajan Tiruvasal. Okay. You can see the size. Actually, it is a three-story structure. Then three levels of the Gopuram. The one behind the Rajarajan Tiruvasal is the Keralandagan Gopuram. It has got 5 stories. Okay, next one. Yes, coming to the inscriptions. The first lecture was about the inscriptions only. The relation between the Vedic this thing and inscription. Here, King Rajaraja has made a huge record of whatever little thing that has happened in the country. So, the inscriptions, they mention about the contributions made by the king, the queen, and others. And if you want to perform a puja, a special puja, how much you have to pay as fees for the puja, and then the donation to the shepherds, everything. And then there were 2 big streets. They were called as Tallicheri. Those 2 streets were accommodating 400 odd dancers who are dedicated their lives to the temple. So, the name of the dancers, how much fee we have to pay them, how to take care of their livelihood, everything has been clearly mentioned in the inscription. And one more thing, most important thing, the cows and the sheep given to the shepherds. So their only responsibility is, shepherds is, they have to give ghee to the temple to light the lamps. Because those days we did not have electricity. So only by lighting the lamp we can see the whole thing. Okay. So So on one such week, for 7 days, one particular light, it was not lighted. So they came to know about it, and he inquired about it. The people said the light, the lamp and the ghee, it has to be given by one Mr. Yavatur Marayan. Yavatur is the village, Marayan is the name of the shepherd. Then the king himself went to that place, that village, and he inquired about the incident, why you are not paying the ghee. At the time, his wife came with almost torn pieces of sari and other things, and her child was almost dying stage. Okay. The king asked, why you did not pay the ghee? She said, King, I know about it. During the last floods in Kaveri, my husband, along with the cattle and the cow, everything was washed away. I am a widow now. Okay. So this incident happened 1 month back, that is 30 days back. But till 23 days, the light was burning. Only for the past 7 days, it was not burning. Why? Then she told, I sold my breast milk. Okay. And got the ghee, and I was able to give it to the temple. Now, I am not able to feed my child. I am not able to get the milk from my breast, so I am not able to contribute. Then the king immediately gave her a job in the courtyard, and he asked his architects to make a note of her name in the inscription. So her name is there in the inscription. The name of the person who died is Yavatur Marayan, and his wife's name, I don't know, I have forgotten the name, but her wife, that lady's name is inscribed there. Such is the generosity of the king, and his title is Rajaraja. The title Rajaraja is given to the chief architect. Rajaraja Perundachar Kunjara Mallan. Kunjara Mallan is the name of the architect. But he is also called as Rajaraja. The accounts person, he is also called as Rajaraja. The administrator, the top post, or the CEO, or MD, everybody is given the title as Rajaraja. That is the generosity of the king. He lived in the hearts of the people. Okay, next slide. So next slide is about an interesting thing, interesting icon in the temple. I don't know how many of you have visited Tanjavur Big Temple, and even if you have visited, how many of you would have noticed this icon? Okay, you can see closely the elephant. The elephant is angry. The anger of the elephant can be seen from the tail. It is lifted up from the ears and from the eyes. And on the trunk, the back one. And on the trunk of the elephant, there is a horse rider whose body is twisted. Okay, go to the next slide. Now, you can see the body of that horse rider. It is totally, the spinal cord is broken. So his body is S-shaped, and the tail has come down. If you see the eye, it has also calmed down. Okay. Now go to the top of the elephant. You can see the mouth of that elephant being, second one only. You can see the mouth of the tiger, elephant is being killed. Okay. So the story is the mouth of the elephant has been killed by the horse rider. So the lion, the elephant got angry. It killed the horse rider, and then after killing the horse rider, it has become cool and calm. Now, how to see which one is the first and which one is the second? If you know the story, then you have to see that the first side as the first one, second one as the second one. Now lies the intelligence of the architect. Now go back to the first one. You can see on the trunk, there is a bud. The long one, there is a bud. Can you see? Now go to the second one. That's a bud. Second one. Now you can see the flower in that. Which one will come first? Bud or flower? Bud, right? So it is a small indication that you have to see the bud first and the flower next. So intelligent they were. Okay, next slide. So this is one of the views of the magnificent big temple Gopuram from the archway. Okay, next slide. Now you can see the size of the prahara. It is said that during periods of calamity, it can easily accommodate 1 lakh people. 1 lakh people in one place. Just imagine. Imagine the size then. Okay, second, next one. This photo was taken from the Nandi Mandapa. Okay, on early morning. See, most of my images, there will not be any crowd. I will include crowd or include people whenever and wherever it is necessary. You can wonder how I took the picture with hardly 1 or 2 people in the GoPro, inside the temple. Normally, there is a time when the Abhisheka takes place in the temple. It's around 7 o'clock. At that time, everybody will be inside, and I will be outside taking the photos. I will be missing that important event, but taking some pictures like this. Okay, so this is the front view of the GoPro. Just imagine 216 feet high. Okay, this is the side, back view. This is the back view, and you can see the Kalasam. We call it as Kalasam, or in English it is called as Shikara. It weighs around 81.284 tons. Okay, we can make it as 80 tons. 80 tons means 80,000 kilograms. 80,000 kilograms. How the architects moved it up that GoPro. So they made a big this thing. Saram, we call it in Tamil. Sarapallam is the name of the place. Some 6.4 kilometers away from Tanjavur. From that place, they made a slope-like thing, and then they brought that stone, Shikara, on top of it. And it is said that it is not made up of a single piece. It may be 4 pieces or 8 pieces. Now attached together, it looks as one. But when you go nearer, you may see the this thing, fixing thing. And my friend, one of my friends, he has done a research in Tanjavur big temple by name Sundar Guruswamy. He is the main man behind my interest in architecture. He is one of the senior members of Photographic Society of Madras. Here I must thank my society Because of my society, only I've got so much interest in and exploring places like this. Okay, so the Shikara, we have some space. In the space, you can drive a Maruti Alto car around it. A Maruti Alto car around the Shikara. Then you can imagine the size of the Shikara, the gap it has. Okay. See, Tanjavur for me has been a place of wonder. I have visited more than 100 times, but still I am not satisfied. I am not yet to produce a great picture. So whatever be the climatic condition, whatever be the time, either it will be morning or evening or night, raining or cloudy, it will be simply amazing. Simply amazing. Only thing you have to need the patience to stay. So this is the next one is taken in May 2015. May 2015 on a the rains were about to start. See the formation of the clouds. It reminded me about that Independence Day when the alien ships came down. The cloud, there will be some cloud formation. It was reminding me like that. Okay, the second slide. Now I think what I said is correct. Huh? Okay, next one. So this is on the southern wall of the temple. You can see the various forms of Lord Shiva. Okay, next one. Next one. Yeah, Saraswati in one of the entrances. See, they made such big icons. Not only that, very small also. These artisans were skilled. Let it be big or small. We will excel in whatever we do. Okay, next one. Can you see the Kalinga Nardana of Lord Krishna? Such a tiny one. It is just 1 inch. Just 1 inch. I made a close-up view of that icon. Okay, next one. This is Lord Muruga on his Vahan, peacock. Everything, just finger size, that's all. Only finger size. Next one. Mahishasura Mardini killing the demon. All the images. See the intricacy of the work. The bangle type, this is very famous. Okay, next one. You can see a similar image in Hasara Rama temple in Hampi. Similar this thing. Okay. Next one. So inside the temple, taken from the first entrance, Kerala Nagan Gopuram to the Rajarajan Talevasal. This is the Rajarajan Talevasal, which you are seeing is the Rajarajan Talevasal. Okay. As I told you, rain or shine or night, it will be so majestic. Tanjavur Big Temple is so majestic. No words to describe the majestic. And I am doing a little service by taking some photographs, but I am still a long way to go. Next one. Yes, both the rain as well as this is another view of the Gopuram. So let it be rain or sunshine, as I told you. Rain as well as during night. See how beautiful it is. The thing is, you have to see it as a photographer. with the photography guy, if you see, then you'll really enjoy this picture. Okay. Next one. Next, I am going to Gangaikonda of Solapuram, built by Rajendra Sola. Gangaikonda means he has brought water from Ganges and he has poured it in the lake near the place. From Tanjavur, the capital was shifted to Gangaikonda of Solapuram. Okay. Here also, the construction style, everything is just huge. Huge. Okay. But there is a small difference, which I will tell you after a few slides. Now you just go through the slide. Okay. So this is from the back side of the Gopuram. This is from the sideways. Go to the next one. Luckily for me, whenever I go to Gangaikonda Solapuram, I have clouds. For any photographer to get a good picture, especially that of a monument or landscape, they prefer clouds. With the clouds, there will be some 3D effect in the photograph. See the play of the clouds. You can see the clouds. Clouds in different forms, different striking forms. Next. Next. Go to the next one. Yes. This is these are the sculptures. You can see a lot of them. Dancing Nataraj. You can see Harihara. You can see Lord Vishnu. Everything and everybody. Okay. See the next slide. This is the only icon I have seen in this temple alone. This is the Chandikesa Anugraha Murti. Whenever you visit any Shiva temple, you will see there will be a separate Garbhagriha for Chandikeshwara. Here, this icon symbolizes Lord Shiva honoring Chandikesha. Chandikesha Anugraha Murti. I have not seen anywhere in any of the Shiva temples. Okay. This is something special and unique in Gangaikonda Solapuram, and this is Jnana Saraswati sitting in yoga pose, doing meditation. I preferred a side angle because of the lighting. Okay. I attach some importance to lighting also. So the lighting which will create a 3D effect in the image I take. Okay. Next one. Another view of the Gopuram. You can see the size of the temple. Go back. See, this temple was having a very huge compound wall. The granites from the compound wall were removed by the British and they built a small dam, check dam in River Kaveri. So then you can see the site. The check dam is still there. More than 1,000 years. The temple is more than 1,000 years old. The check dam is also more than 1,000 years old. Everything is intact. Okay, next one. See, there is a difference between the Gopuram style of Tanjavur and the Gangaikonda Solapuram. Okay. Gangaikonda Solapuram, it will be like this. Sorry, Tanjavur it will be like this. Okay. Whereas in Gangaikonda Solapuram, it will be like this. There will be a small curve in the Gopuram. A very small curve in the Gopuram. But whereas in Tanjavur, it will be perfectly straight. So, even though Rajendra was his son, he wanted to give a different perspective to the GoPro. And the height of the GoPro of the Vimala is 216 feet. That is of and the Gangagoda Swaradabhram is 180 feet. The Linga, the Sivalingam inside, is 29 feet high in Tanjavur and 15 feet in Gangagoda Swaradabhram. And in constructing all the Chola temples, there were no binding materials used. Everything was built using interlocking system. That is why when Malik Kafur attacked Tanjavur, he was able to take away all the golden plates, but he could not dismantle the Gopuram or the temple. He could dismantle only a portion of the second floor of the Tanjavur temple. But seeing that it is going to result in loss of wastage of time, he left this alone and left to Madurai. That's a different story. Okay, next one. Now I think we are going to Dharasaram. The grandson, he did not want to emulate both his father or the grandfather. This is unique because a small one, but beautiful one. There are carvings in the temple which shows the life history of all the 63 devotees of Lord Shiva. 63 devotees, their life around the Prahara. All miniatures. At least in Tanjavur temple, you were seeing this much big. But here only half the finger size. This is the Ardhanarishwara, which we see in Dharasaram, and this is the full view of the temple of Dharasaram. You can see this is the temple's name is Airavadeshwara, symbolizing the Airavada elephant is right. I mean, Lord Shiva is riding on the Airavadeshwara temple, and the whole temple is showing the chariot being pulled. You can see a similar wheel in Sun Temple Konark also, right? That is a different part of the story. So the kings, whenever they conquer any kingdom, they used to marry the daughters of the kingdom, so that it is advantageous in two ways. One thing, they will not fight against them, and it will form a strong alliance. Okay. So when they conquered Kalinga, when Rajendra Chola conquered Kalinga, he married the queen, and then that technology was transferred to the Kalinga temple. It is said that. Now you can see that beautiful wheel, and beneath the wheel and under the hearts, there's a small thing. Okay, you can go to the next slide. You can see that. Can you see one small thing? It is again Lord Buddha. It is again Lord Buddha. Okay, now can you see Lord Buddha? Blow it up, enlarge it, or you can come to the next slide. Can you see Lord Buddha?
Go back.
Yes.
Yes,
now you
sir.
go
There
back
is
to
a small
small thing.
below the
Small.
yes.
Now you go back again. Go back, go back, go back. No, go up, go up, go up. See this mandapa, this mandapa, it has 108 pillars. All pillars will be straight looking. In whichever angle you see, it will be looking straight. And in each pillar, there will be a different storytelling things. Like Lord Muruga getting married, Lord Shiva getting married, Lord Narayana getting married. So many storytelling visuals you can see. And each pillar was assigned to a separate architect. So 108 architects were working on this thing. And this mandapa is called as Raja Gambira Mandapam. Raja Gambira Sri Mandapam. Okay. It will be so very beautiful. So whenever I go to the temple, as soon as I take a picture of the exterior, I'll go and sit inside. I'll wait for the lighting to happen. So I'll be spending at least 7 to 8 hours inside the temple. I'll have a breakfast, order for my lunch, have my lunch outside the temple, again come. So go in the morning, come back in the evening. Next one. Now we are going to the interior of the temple. So the size of the sculpture will be only little figures. That's all. Dancing. You can see dancing. You can see fighting. You can see a pregnant woman giving a birth to a newborn. How the pregnant woman being assisted by the nurses of those period. Everything you can see. Next one. See, and there is a player, there is a Vinayaka, only this much size. I have not photographed it because of the poor lighting conditions. So next time I will go and do it. All miniatures on the pillars.
Great.
Next one. Again the pillars. See the necklace pattern. The necklace what you are wearing.
Yes, sir.
The
Similar patterns.
Yes, tell me. You
So
can see in
similar patterns
Badami.
are seen in Badami. Yes, sir.
Yes, in Badami also. And another unique feature of Dharasaram is even on the footsteps, you can see the patterns. All miniatures only. So you need to spend a lot of time in taking miniatures. And this is the famous Annalakshmi icon in the temple. It is made of a single stone, monolith. You see a vessel on the left hand and a gridam on top. When you tap, you will get the musical sound in the vessel and on the gridam alone, not anywhere else. Such is the engineering marvel of our ancestor. Okay. And these are 108 sideways. And something I want to share about this picture. This was exhibited in one of the exhibitions conducted by the Photographic Society of Madras. At the time, Sri K.V. Anand, who passed away recently, a cinematographer, a director in the Tamil film industry. He was the chief guest for our exhibition. He went around that. He spent some few minutes. Again came. He was looking at that. And he called the photographer. I went there. Sir, I don't know how you took this. Still, I am not able to find out how you took this. Simply a masterpiece, sir. That's a greatest appreciation from one of the very good photographer, cinematographer, director from the Tamil film industry. He passed away recently. A few days back, he passed away due to COVID. Okay, next one. So this is not being properly maintained. This temple, every time it rains, we see the water getting accumulated, and people find it very difficult to pump it out. Because now the temple has gone below, and all the surrounding places, they have been gone high. The level has gone up. So we are having this issue for quite some years. Next one. So there is a backside view. Water surrounding the whole temple. This is a passage on the courtyard. Morning light, but too in May month. May month, nobody will dare to visit these places, but I was there because there will be less crowd and beautiful light. And something about this temple, on March 21st every year, the rays of the sun will fall directly on the Sivalinga. That is the speciality of this temple. And the speciality of Gangaikonda Sorapuram is, even if you switch off all the lights in the Garbhagriha, you can see the Sivalinga. That is another speciality of Gangaikonda Sorapuram. Okay, next one. Now, Ardhanarishwarar, during the 3 periods, son, father, Tanjavur, son, Gangaikonda Sorapuram, grandson, Dharasaram. How they have imagined, they are not copied. You can see the symbolism is there, Ardhanarishwarar, but they tried their own style. Okay. And even in Mukut, the Ardhanarishwarar will be totally different. In Badami, Ardhanarishwarar will be totally different. Okay. I got a collection of that also. So everything will be different. It shows the imagination and what to say. I am at a loss of words. So I think this is the end of the presentation. So I thank you very much, Manali and Nidhi and all the organizers there for the opportunity given to me. I think you enjoyed that session. So any feedback, I'm eagerly waiting so that I will improve. I'll try to improve my skills.
So, we don't see there is any room for improvement. All the photos are perfect, and so as we are not professional photographers, and we will never know if there is any mistake. But for us, as laymen in the field of photography, these photographs are absolutely wonderful and marvelous. We know the only effort that we put in taking photographs is when we take selfies. We take thousands of them and delete most of them. But this level of dedication and the thing that you said, waiting for 8 to 9 hours to take one photograph, it is really, I have no words. Hats off to your efforts, sir. And having you had a job in the bank, you worked there for several hours, several years, and then you left that job, you took up photography, and you really proved your point. You really had a passion for that job, and you did it. And it's really, we are astonished to see the photographs. We usually go and visit historical places. We take photographs in our phones. We like some things, we take a photograph, and then we get out of there. But paying attention to the minutest things, like some of the photographs that you have taken are of 1 inch size. We
Balkrishna and
never pay
Krishna.
attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, when the things are so small, even as students of history, we usually neglect them. We don't pay attention that even such a small sculpture might be saying a story, and you have got our attention to that. It is a really great job. Uh, there are a lot of positive comments in the chat section. Uh, there is BKS Vardhini. She says that please share the PDF. I really liked all the pictures, and hats off to sir for taking effort in such beautiful pictures. It takes patience and time. His experience speaks. Thank you, sir, for the wonderful presentation. This is by BKS Vardhini. Dr. Amresh Yatgal, professor of Kannada University, Hampi. He says that it was very useful, interesting, and wonderful lecture. Congratulations, sir. Rajashri Vasudevan madam has commented, the perseverance to take a single perfect shot is a lesson to youngsters today. Patience is the key. Absolutely right, ma'am. Because we as youngsters, we are supposed to read a lot. We might not be photographers, but as students of history, we have to read a lot, and we do not have the perseverance to sit in one place and read for 4 hours. But we are learning from sir. Sir is an inspiration for us. From today, we will follow your lead, sir. There are several other comments. Raj Kambar says, very useful information. Thank you, sir. Raju Iyer says, good day, very detailed description with backgrounds. Thank you. So,
Also, here was my classmate in Vivekananda College. We did the MCom, BCom together.
yes, sir. Okay. So, I cannot say welcome now since we are coming to the end of the lecture, but it was a really happy, event. We hosted this lecture, and it is very novel. We have always looked at historical monuments from the point of view of history. Who built this temple? Why it was built? From where the architects came, or from where the granite was brought? We focus on all these things. We also talk about sculptures and iconography, but several times we fail to see the story behind it, the emotions behind it. The way you depicted the elephant, sir, the expression of the elephant, on one side it is angry, on the other side it is calmed down. Then how do we find out which one comes first? There is a bud on one side, then there is a flower on the other side. Such things I don't think I would ever notice.
Yeah, very true.
I'm sure Nidhi will agree with me.
Yeah, 100%. We will ignore many things. Yeah, I agree.
But this perspective which you have given us today, I'm sure next time when we go and visit a historical monument, our perspective will be different. We will find for such small stories wherever we can in the nooks and corners. The sculpture of Buddha beneath the horse figure, it would have easily gone without notice. But yes, I have no other words to say.
And one more figure which photo sir showed is that mother giving birth to a child, a miniature mini sculpture. Yeah, many times we don't observe such things which will be depicting history. So sir gave very informative lecture, and photos were very beautiful, sir. I really astonished by those photos, sir.
Absolutely. And the most wonderful part of this lecture was where, sir, you gave the comparison of the styles between the two temples and between the figurines of Ardhanarishwara. Why, I don't know, but you really seem to be a professional historian there, because we also do that.
I'm just a photographer. And
Yes,
my simple suggestion for youngsters is,
yes, sir.
whenever you go to any place of historical value,
Yes, sir.
spend time. because as Malali knows, I have been visiting Hampi for since 2008. Regular visitor. Only in before the lockdown also I visited in 2020. 21 is due. After the lockdown is open, I will be. My first place is Hampi. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So people visit Dharasaram temple. People in India, they visit Dharasaram temple. They go around the temple, visit the Garbhagriha, the Mahamandap, then go. They spend hardly 30 minutes inside the temple. But I've seen people from France. They spend nearly 3 hours. 3 hours. And their knowledge about the icons is simply astonishing. I would like to share my experience. Once two people, there one guide and a tourist, both are from France. The guide was explaining about the Agaliga and he forgot the name of the person. Agaliga, he forgot the name. He was speaking in French. I don't know French. But the way he was describing, I could follow him. And then I interfered. Sorry for the interference. That she is Agalige. Thank you, sir. Wife of Gautama Muni. How many of us know? And in 2019, there were a few tourists from Russia. That the guide was explaining about Lakshmi Narasimha for nearly 30 minutes. His body language was such that it was totally, he was in a, in a trance, I would say. He was in a trance. And my friends asked me, sir, are you not taking any photographs? No, I'm just observing him. I'm just observing him. So, we have to learn more about our history, our heritage, our culture. And when you visit any place, spend more time. In Badami, in Padatakal, I used to spend 4 hours. After breakfast, I'll go. I'll come out for lunch. And after lunch, I'll go to Highway. And only when people there ask me to get out of the place, I'll get out.
We have to learn from you, sir.
Yes.
Nothing. The only thing I have time and I'm able to spend. You are all youngsters, you are all busy with so many things. See, just to make it a point that whenever you visit any place, try to spend. And another thing, if I go to Padadagil in the morning, next day I visit the same place in the evening. If I visit Ayol in the evening, next day I will go in the morning, like that. So morning and evening it will be different. Like Belur, Alipudi, everything. As a photographer, I'm telling that every time, morning and evening, the things will be totally different.
Yes, sir.
Whenever I go to Hampi, I stay for 5 days. And I find it is not sufficient. But others who are accompanying me, they don't have leave what to do. That's the thing.
Yes, sir. So we will surely keep your suggestions in mind, sir, because as you said, when you visit the same place 2 or 3 times or more than that, you always see something new. And same applies to us as students of history. When we read the same epigraph 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, we glean a different meaning every time. And last year we had a seminar in our university on epigraphy, and it was said there, like already the epigraphs have been recorded. That does not mean we don't have to re-record them or to reinterpret them. It is very necessary. So the thing that you said, it is very applicable to our subject, and we have learned a lot from you, sir, today. So I'm absolutely thankful for that. And there is one more message here by J. Satish Kumar. I'm sure with help from people like you, we hope to include Perudayar Temple in the official Marvels of the World list. So,
And I would like to make a mention about Mr. Satish Kumar. He is a chartered accountant by profession.
yes, sir.
But he always travels with historians and archaeologists to these places. And he has told me so many stories. And I shared whatever he has told me.
Yes, sir.
So
So,
yesterday his comment was, "Sir, you are coming into my field." Then I commented, "Yes, I am encroaching. Please forgive me."
yes, sir. Overall, it was a very fruitful session, sir, because we learned a lot. You have inspired us to sit and to persevere and overall to just be involved in the field that we are passionate about. And as students of history, we are passionate about history and we will surely take your suggestion into account. Since we have come to the end of the lecture, I request Ms. Nidhi Katti to propose the vote of thanks.
Yeah, thank you, Manali. So it was a very, very wonderful lecture, and photographs, they were very beautiful, and it gave youth historians to see history and temples through a different perspective, where we miss many small sculptures or many small messages hidden in many architectural forms of temples. So thank you so much, sir, for giving this beautiful lecture on our history enthusiast page, sir. Thank you for accepting our invitation and giving this lecture. I, from my side and personally, and from Manali's side, also thank you, sir. Thank you so much. And secondly, I thank all the audience who patiently watched this lecture and also commented and appreciated our lecture. Thank you so much. And of course, I thank co-founder of History Enthusiast page and my friend Manali Momaya. Thank you so much.
Thank you to Nidhi.
Thank you.
And yes, sir. I'd just like to inform about tomorrow's lecture. Tomorrow's lecture will be live at 4 p.m. again, the same time. And tomorrow's lecture will be delivered by Dr. Ramesh Kamble, Professor, Department of History and Archaeology, Rani Chennamma University PG Center, Vijaypura. The topic of tomorrow's lecture is Indian nationalism and national integration. It is a wonderful topic, and I hope nobody misses it. Once again, I welcome you to like, share, subscribe, and comment on our videos. Thank you for your support, and we will end this lecture here. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.